we are going over CO50, which is the last of our operations dealing with polynomial expressions. First, we added and subtracted, then we multiplied, and now we are going to be dividing. And thankfully for you, this also goes back to a previously learned concept. It's actually not.
What? Try the blue.
No, we're not gonna. We're just gonna unplug and replug. This isn't. It's showing up on my screen now, so hopefully. But it's super uncalibrated. We'll see how this works.
Are you still struggling?
I am. Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, we're gonna roll with this. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's good. Okay. Anyway, so thankfully for you, this goes back to a previously learned concept. It's not POA. CO11 is where we first ran into this situation, which you may recognize as dividing by the same base. Right? You've got those exponent expressions. It's written as a fraction. Who can remind us 10x to the fifth divided by 5x squared? What did you do to simplify these expressions? There's something that had to be done with the coefficients and then the exponents. Alex?
You minus the exponents and you divide the
Coefficients?
coefficients.
Yes.
Yeah,
So our rule was you divide or simplify the coefficients. So 10/5 simplifies to be 2 over 1. So we have to write the 2, or we don't have to write the 1. And then our exponents, they are subtracted. And so we get 2x cubed over 1, which you could just write as 2x cubed. Okay. Now, who can explain and remind us why that subtracting of the powers works? Why is that the shortcut? Why are we able to do that? Yeah.
Because if multiplying is adding the exponents, then dividing should be subtracting.
Yes. If when we multiply, the exponents are added. So the opposite of multiplication is division. It makes sense that the opposite of addition means subtraction. That would be our method here. Okay. Mathematically, what's really going on, Max?
If you wrote it out and expanded
I love
form,
expanded form.
then you just cross them out. That's kind of the same thing with subtracting.
Exactly. Okay. When you write it out in expanded form, what we looked at was, we have these pairs of x's in both the numerator and the denominator, right? And as we know, anything divided by itself equals 1. So every pair of x divided by x, we can cancel out. And so those 2 x's in the denominator get canceled out with 2 x's in the numerator, leaving us with 3 of them. And we know those 3 x's are in our numerator because that's where they started. And expanded form really shows us that. Okay? So what would the next one simplify to be? Just give me the straight out answer. Sophie? 5x to the fourth. Right? 45 ninths simplifies to be 5 over 1. Subtract the powers. 11 minus 7 is 4. Good. Next one. Joey?
5x over 3.
4. Good. 5x over 4. Yeah. In this case, those coefficients, 15/12, they don't divide evenly. That's why we really say we simplify them. Simplify that fraction 15/12 to be 5/4. And then we have one more x in our numerator. 5 minus 4 is 1. Last one. What do we come up with, Jack?
Parentheses are on the x and then -1.
Okay, so the 7's cancel out, right? 7 divided by 7. And Jack is saying that 2 minus 3 equals -1. So we would have x to the negative first. That wouldn't be simplest form, though. You are correct in that that's what this equals, not negative x. Ellen?
You move the x to the bottom.
Right. Remember, we've got that negative power. The power and the base move the other part of the fraction, and that exponent becomes positive. So it'd be like 1 over x to the first. You could skip this step by saying to yourself, I've got one more x in my denominator. And so that 1x, that's where it's going to stay. Right? In expanded form, we've got 7 times x over 7 times x times x times x. In this case, when we canceled our pairs of x's, that 1x left over is in the denominator, so that's where it's going to stay. Okay? So 1 over x should be your answer. All righty. Does that ring some bells? Light bulbs flashing? Brightly shining? Good. Because essentially that's what this objective is, just with more stuff. Okay? It's kind of like we're distributing with division. And then if you've got 15x plus 10 divided by 5, we're going to rewrite this to be 15x divided by 5 plus 10 divided by 5. Right? Everything inside the parentheses gets divided by 5. So it's kind of distribution again, only with division. William, what's 15x divided by 5?
3.
3x. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. We're done.
Let's go.
Right?
So it's easy.
Yeah. If you understand the setup, right? Again, this is one of those things where the calculations aren't the challenge, it's the how do I set this up? Do I remember those exponent rules and things such as that? We're going to rewrite the next one to be 24x squared minus 18x plus 8, and we're dividing everything by 2. Everything gets divided by 2. 24x squared divided by 2. Anybody? 12x squared. Negative 18x divided by 2. Negative 9x. Don't forget about that sign. And 8 divided by 2 is going to be plus 4. We're in standard form. Nothing can be combined. That would be our answer. Okay? Things get a little more difficult on this next page, so let's flip over to that. As long as there are no questions here. Yeah.
What's the first one in the second row? Because it has an x. Is it just the same thing?
So first one, second row, with that divided by 10x, it'd be the same thing. We'd start by doing 30x cubed divided by 10x. And so this is where reviewing our exponent rules up at the top will be helpful here. What would the answer to this division here be?
3x.
3x squared.
3x squared, right? Yep. 30 divided by 10 is 3, and then 3 minus 1 would be 2. So I think all the ones on the back side have variables also, so we'll get back to some of those. Pick what you want to do. You got 6 of them to choose from, 8 of them to choose from. My goodness.
7. The last one. 7.
No, 7.
7 to choose from?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count 8.
First on the bottom.
I want 7 for 7.
The 7th problem. I don't care.
Oh, so last row, first one.
No.
Oh.
The 7th. Yes.
So 26x to the 11th divided by 4x cubed plus 12x to the 8th divided by 4x cubed minus x to the 5th divided by 4x cubed minus 34x squared divided by 4x cubed. Right? Every term inside of our parentheses gets divided by that 4x cubed. Yes, sir. Yes.
Dang it.
Yes.
It doesn't say that.
It's understood.
It says show
There are times when it is written, there are times when it's not, but it's always understood. Okay? So, looking at our first term here, 26x to the 11th divided by 4x cubed. Our coefficients, 26 fourths. What does that simplify to be? 26 fourths.
13 over, or 13, yeah, 13 over 2.
13 halves, yep, 13 over 2. And how many x's and where are they? 8 where? Up top, right? 11 minus 3, we have 8 more up there to start with. So we'll have 8 more to end with. And then we go on to the next term.
8 divided by 5.
Lots of side conversation going on. 12 divided by 4 gives us what? 3. X to the 5th. We don't need our denominator in this case because everything down there cancels out. So we just leave it as 3x to the 5th. Our next one, go ahead and write that negative sign there so you don't forget. Alex?
Would it be 1 over 4x to the 8th?
So we're not going to be adding the exponents here, right?
It's negative.
The negative sign belongs to the fraction, not the exponent. Okay? So it's not like 4x to the negative third. That sign only applies to the fraction as a whole, not an individual power. That's a good thing to bring up though. Catherine? It'll be x squared over 4. If you want to write the 1 in front of the x squared, then you certainly can. There's no coefficient to simplify with that 4. We have 2 more x's up top, so x squared over 4. And lastly, Ellen.
-17 over 2x.
Negative 17 over 2x. 34 fourths simplifies to be 17 halves. We have 1 more x in the denominator, and so that is where we put that x. Okay. Are we in standard form? Yes. Again, greatest to least power, 8, 5, 2. And the fact that this is in the denominator, if it was in the numerator, if this x was up top, what would the power be? -1, right? If it was in the numerator, it'd be a -1. We obviously don't want that as a final answer, but you can think about this as 8, 5, 2, -1, but then we move it down to write our final answer. All right, how are we doing? The key to this one is really your understanding of CO11, actually, right? And kind of how to handle dividing by the same base and simplifying all that sort of stuff. Is there another one you'd like to talk about?
Yes.
All right. Is there another one anyone else would like to talk about? Sophie.
Get it.
Alright, well, let's move on to the
Second row. Second row, second one.
Second row, second one.
That's the fourth.
The fourth. Okay. So we have 45x to the 9th plus 27x to the 6th plus 15x divided by 9x to the 5th. So just like the others, we're going to start by writing this out. Each term inside of our parentheses divided by what's on the outside. And we go to work. Okay, 45x to the 9th divided by 9x to the 5th. The coefficients work out evenly. We get 5. And there are 4 more x's in our numerator. So we have 5x to the 4th. Next one works out evenly too. Fantastic. 27 divided by 9 is 3. 1 more x up top. 6 minus 5 equals 1. So plus 3x. And then the last one, 15 ninths, simplifies to be 5 thirds. So we will have a denominator here. And in fact, our x's end up in the denominator as well. And where, or how many in the denominator? 4, right? Again, this has a 1, even though it's not written there. So we have 4 more x's in the denominator, and so that's where we put them. Cool. All right. Your assignment due tomorrow is the rest of this page. Yes.
Is that in standard? Is it in standard form because it's a negative form?
Good question. It is in standard form because if we wrote this power in the numerator, it'd be 5x to the 4th plus 3x to the 1st plus 5x to the negative 4th over 3. And so when we look at our powers in greatest to least order, it's 4, 1, negative 4, right? We wouldn't write that as a final answer. We would move it down like we have here. But yes, that is in standard form. That is in standard form. Good question. Others? All right. Homework for tomorrow. Finish up this page. And math packet due tomorrow as well. If you gave yours to me to correct, I'll get it back to you before lunch. That is my math. Like and subscribe. All of the things.